And I'm Dennis Stone, the Johnson Space Center Commercial LEO Development Program Office. We've talked about Elon and we talked about Rick, but don't forget, there's your friendly neighborhood space agency. We're a player too in this. I want to tell you what NASA is doing to help commercialize space, beginning with low Earth orbit. So I have some slides, and hopefully they will appear soon. But I will just keep on going since we're on a clock. So our main goal is to maintain continuous human presence in space. We've had that with this incredible facility called the International Space Station. Yeah, next slide, please. Or do I have a clicker, or do I just think and it changes? How does this technology work? Okay, next slide. So the International Space Station, amazing facility. It's been in orbit since '98. It has enabled incredible progress and discovery in the value of microgravity. Microgravity is an amazing place to, first of all, to grow things, because gravity induces all of these effects on Earth that causes impurities. So we can grow crystals, we can grow optical fibers, we can grow parts for the human body even. So there's an amazing set of applications that can improve life on Earth using space, either knowledge from space that is used on the ground, or even production of materials in space, like new fiber optics or new retinas and things like that for heart valves for folks on the Earth who needs it. So there's just a whole wealth of applications that are so exciting that the space station has shown. The proverbial clicker, thank you, sir. You know, metallics. We're learning about combustion to save energy on Earth. There's just so many things that the station has done for us. It's a test bed for NASA to learn how we can send people further outward into space, learning about the equipment, like the life support systems. How can we make sure that they're going to work on a long journey to Mars? Other technical test beds and demonstrations, and of course the most important system of all, the human. What are the effects of microgravity on our astronauts, and how can they be mitigated? And there are some serious effects that the station has allowed. But and perhaps most importantly, and Rick mentioned this earlier up there, it's a test bed for international cooperation. It's the place where we rise above the problems of the planet and just work together. So it has been an incredible facility in that regard too. But all great things must come to an end, and the most important information on this chart are those last four numbers. An end date has been set for the International Space Station of 2030. And I want to tell you today what we're doing to get ready for this. And it's the culmination of a three-step process. It began with commercial cargo, the COTS program in 2005. We invested in SpaceX, and then later Orbital Sciences, now Northrop, to carry cargo. So instead of calling FedEx, we call SpaceX. They weigh it. They get out the tape measure the size. Okay, here's what it costs. It's not that simple, but anyway, you get the idea. It's a service. It's a commercial service. So that transition was incredibly successful. And thank you, Lori, for making that first Blue Arrow work, getting commercial crews started. That has also been another great successful program where now we buy a ticket. New concept, completely new paradigm. So that's going really well. So right now we're working on the next Blue Arrow. We're starting the third leg of the triangle, if you will, commercial destinations. And that's what our office is focused on. So that when we're done, the complete ecosystem of LEO will move from where NASA was the owner and operator of the systems, to where NASA is a customer, one of hopefully many customers. And this is a crowded chart for a really good reason, because our vision is that LEO will be a crowded, robust ecosystem of many, many capabilities on the supply side and on the demand side. So on the supply side, you see the cargo vehicles. You see on the top line the crew vehicles carrying up people and the things they need in low Earth orbit. And as more and more of those are needed, we hope to see the price go down as we scale up. The destinations, and I'll talk about these. We're investing in 4 different candidates right now, and there are even more out there that are working on their own, which we're so glad to see. And other elements of a LEO economy, I talked about some of the microgravity applications. Of course, NASA is going to be a huge customer. We're going to continue using microgravity for all the benefits I outlined earlier that the station is giving us. We want no gap. We want to just keep on using commercial LEO destinations for the same benefits we're getting today on the space station. And all of these things. And again, so our vision is that it's a robust, vibrant place where there's so much going on and a lot of places to do it and a lot of ways to get there. So that's the vision. And we're using this 2-phase approach where we begin as an investor. We use funded Space Act agreements. We help companies financially. We help them with technology and technical support. We did this on cargo. We did this on crew. We're doing it now on destinations. And then when these potential suppliers have moved to the point where they're close to being ready, then we'll take off our investor hat, put on our customer hat, and buy services. And so for commercial LEO destinations, the investment phase has started. There are 4 companies that we're helping right now. The commercial destination on ISS is Axiom. They want a contract where they're beginning to build their station at the ISS. And eventually it'll detach, and I'll show you a picture of that in a minute. And then 3 we call commercial destinations free flyer because they're beginning as free flyers. They won't be attached to ISS. They'll all be in various orbits. And this Blue Origin, NanoRacks, and Northrop Grumman. Phase 2, we're planning, if you go back to that first slide, 2030, we want a 2-year transition. So we want these folks to be ready in 29, so that by the end of 30, the station can shut down. And we want to start those contracts 3 years before that. So we're looking at around 2026. This is coming up really quickly, so things are moving fast. And that contract will be for the accommodation of NASA payloads and NASA crew on these destinations. It'll be a turnkey service, so it's the taxi ride and the hotel. So get them there, accommodate them, bring them home. As a turnkey service is how we envision that. And also, we will certify the safety of the destination, which is a benefit not only for NASA, but of course for everyone who will go to these destinations. So that'll be part of this Phase 2 contract that we plan to award through an open competition. So anyone can bid, not just the 4 companies that you see here. So Axiom, as I mentioned, they got started a little earlier because we had this competition about 2 years prior to the CDFF. So they've been working for some time. They're getting close to they're in a critical design review now, which is a sign of great progress. Again, the Axiom concept is to begin at the space station, build up, which is a lower risk approach, and then eventually be able to detach and become a free flyer in that same orbit. So this is a great company based where I'm from in Houston. The other 3, we awarded these funded Space Act agreements just last December. So it hasn't even been a year, but they're all making really great progress. NanoRacks is a company that's been doing a lot of innovative marketing of the space station and flown a lot of great payloads. They've built an airlock for the space station, very capable company. They're part of Voyager, and they're working very closely with Lockheed. You can see their design concept on the left. Then we have Northrop Grumman. Northrop Grumman also is one of the commercial cargo providers that is servicing the space station right now. They're going to build on the heritage of the Cygnus, their cargo vehicle, and other heritage hardware to come up with their commercial LEO destination that you see in the center. And last but not least, on the right is Blue Origin. They're working with Sierra Space and a bunch of other great companies in a really robust design of their space station. They call it the Orbital Reef, and has something to do with Blue Origin Reef. I haven't quite figured that out. Anyway, but it's got a lot of great capabilities. Sierra is building what they call the Life module, which is a inflatable you see on the right. And Blue is building the mast and the core, and there's a bunch of modules that all come together. And all of these, think of them as slices because they all can be expanded. And this is the one thing that is tough, frankly, because the market is a bit unknown. I mean, we know NASA is going to be buying services, but what are the other companies and countries that are going to be needing this is somewhat to be determined. And so they all have modularity. They can all expand as the market grows to develop, to add different modules, more power, more radiators, more habitation. Is it going to be driven by tourism? Is it going to be driven by corporate research and development? These are unknowns, and they have the flexibility to grow their stations as the market grows. So that's a really quick summary of the work that NASA is proud to enable through our investment dollars and our technical support. We have a vision, I hope you all share, of a robust LEO economy, and we hope to be paving the way to complete that circle, so where we have commercial destinations and we can be one of many customers in a robust low Earth orbit commercial space ecosystem. Thank you.